Hey friends, okay, let me ask you a question. What do you think it takes to become a full-time content creator or a full-time artist? How do you go from working a regular 9 to 5 to having your art and your creative mind be your sole um, carrier in life, I guess is the word I'm going to use. Like your soul, your breadwinning prize. How do you get to that point? Right? So I was currently watching a channel by the name of Dynamic Pencil. I highly recommend you all go and check out his latest video because he talks about this very question about how he wants to become a full-time artist, and he gave himself a time bound of a year to get this done. So in this video, he is committed, he is focused, he talks about a lot of the things that I talk about on the channel about consistency and procrastination, not feeling good enough, a whole bunch of things, right? But I was watching his video and I had some notes about it that I would like to go over with y'all. Some of the things I found interesting, some of the things that I would like to point out, some of the things that I've learned as I am also on a very similar journey. This lighting is weird. But yeah, the first thing that he talks about is lacking consistency. Now, if you've been watching me for some time, for like the few videos that I've made, I can tell you that it's so relatable. It's hard to stay consistent. It really is. Life often gets in the way because, as I always say, life always lives. And especially when you have a 9 to 5, it's hard to get up after your 9 to 5 and be like, oh, well, now I have to go do my art, or now I have to go make videos, or now I have to, I have to live my life after my 9 to 5. And sometimes it's exhausting because then you still got other things to do. But I totally relate to him on the lacking consistent part. But one of the things I did find really, really helpful, and I do believe he is going to reach his goal of becoming a full-time artist within the year. But one of the things that I like is the fact that he gave himself a time limit. Now, friends, if you know me, I've talked about it on this channel before, but if you want to achieve something, we have to go by our SMART goals. And the T in SMART goals refers to time bound, time oriented. You want to give yourself a due date, a deadline, basically, of saying it needs to get done within this amount of time. It helps you keep yourself accountable for things. Businesses use it. I'm pretty sure when you go into your work for your 9 to 5, that businesses use it. Obviously, you have 8 to 10 hours in a day, so they expect that work to be done within the time bound. So that's one little tip that I've learned from trying to follow my passions and become something of a full-time creator. I have my little notes here, guys. Also, if you see me reading, take notes. I always tell you guys, pen and paper, take notes. Love it. I love it. Oh my god, some of the things I just geeked out over. This has nothing to do with the question I asked, but he has some great filming techniques. He knows his angles, he knows his light, he knows how to cut. And also, for anyone going into the content field space or the creative space where you have to be on camera, or not even just on camera, marketers, because I'm also learning about digital marketing and just regular marketing. Interact with your audience, ask questions as much as possible, and he does a great job of this, of having relatable questions of oh shoot, I messed this up, have y'all ever gone through this? Or hey, this is happening right now, who can relate to this? I can't be the only one. He does a great job at relating to his audience. I like that. And if you are a content creator, if you are an artist, make sure that you are asking your audience questions. Make sure that you are trying to connect with people and be curious about where they are at in life, right? yeah, he also talks about personal pitfalls, which is another great way of like connecting with your audience for anyone who is trying to become a full-time artist. um I have relatable stories. We all go through things. Life hits us all, so it's a good thing to explain not just your wins, not just your successes, right? We all love a good success story. We all love when we're on top, but it's so helpful when we talk about our pitfalls, and we talk about the bottoms and the lows and how to get out of those. I always say that there is no you without me, and there's no me without you. We have to get through this thing together. Moving on. Another great thing, to like go back to the question at hand of how to become like a full-time artist, or how to really even just change your reality and like change your perspective of your life, like going from a 180, especially from going something that most of us go through, like working through a 9 to 5, to being your own boss, being your own source of income, right? And this goes for most people. Like, if you want your passion to be your life, you must do something every day that is related to that passion, no matter how small. And I say this because in the video, he was talking about lacking consistency and having like, his 9 to 5 take over like his energy portion. So sometimes he didn't feel like doing it, or even so, like, there was a point in the video where he was making a remark of how like he was doing his art just to do things that were trending, or try to amass as much popularity as he possibly could. And eventually he got burnt out. And the one thing that I am learning, being on a very similar path as him, is just that if you do your passion every day, if you do that thing every day, no matter how small it is, so if you get up and you press record, and even if you just do a couple of doodles on the paper, like, you start to tell your brain, you start to affirm that you are an artist. So if your goal in this scenario is to be like an artist within the year, every day you have to get up and do art. Or every day you have to get up and you have to research art. Every day you have to get up and you have to read an art book. Every day you have to get up and go to an art museum. You have to go talk to other people in the art community. Every day you have to confirm and affirm that you are an artist, even if you are still working at your 9 to 5, even if you are burnt out, even if you are like, I don't know what to do today. As it relates, like, I can feel that way. Learning how to sing is something that I have to get up every day and remind myself. I was like, oh yeah, I'm a singer. Even when days when I don't feel like doing a whole chromatic scale, I don't feel like belting like Whitney Houston or doing crazy Beyonce riffs. Just a simple something. The more I get up every day and I'm just like, oh yeah, because I am a singer, I might not be getting paid for it yet. I may not have 1 million people watching me yet. I may not have a gigantic audience, but that's okay, because at the end of the day, today, tomorrow, next week, next month, and at the end of the year, I'm still going to be a singer. So I still have to get up and I still have to sing. I still have to get up and I still have to vocalize. So a message for not only myself, Ren, right? Because we're always here, we're simpatico, and we're here to help each other. So a message that I want everyone to kind of like hold dear to yourselves is like, if you want to be something, if you want to radically change your life, you need to do that thing every day. The more you do it, the more you will confirm to yourself, the more your brain will start to realize like, oh shoot, this is not a temporary thing. This is something here to stay. You will eventually look up and you're like, oh my God, my life has changed. Like the blink of an eye. You just have to do it, no matter how small or big. Like, every day does not have to be a giant mountain of achievements. Literally, if you just get up and do it for a little bit, kudos to you. You are doing it. You are doing it, friend. Look. Oh, now this is something that I, another tip, but it's mostly pertaining to the video itself. But if you get any, like, use out of it, please let me know. I think it's amazing. But I noticed that he had a great business mind. The Dynamic Pencil, the creator of this video, he had a great business mind. So, as you know, on his channel, I talk a lot about financial literacy. And from what I was hearing from this creator, he has some great financial literacy on email marketing and how to build up stores. And he had a great mind of creating quality products and things like that. And I was like, kudos to him. Oh my goodness, I almost like started jumping up and down. Guys, you know how much I love financial literacy. The more that you know about how money works and how to grow a business, the better off you will be about being independent and not having to hold someone. You do not have to hold your 9 to 5 if you know how money works. Oh, financial literacy. I cannot stress it enough. Anyway, but one thing I noticed about his video, Dynamic Pencils, was that he had a great business mind. But as an artist, as a creator, as someone with a creative mind, right? Like, we want to see the story of the audience, right? The audience wants to see who you are as a creative, as an artist, as a singer, as a drawer, as a painter, as a dancer. We want to know your story. So it's very important, like, yes, if you want to do it full time, you got to have a business mind, because eventually you are going to start pulling in money from it. But there's also that element of, like, you're still an artist, and people follow art not for the how do I want to phrase this? Not for the art itself, but more of the story that the art tells and who the artist is and how they got there. So for, like, example, people don't follow Beyonce simply because she's a great dancer, simply because she's a great vocalist, simply because she is a great a performer. You know, she knows how to put on a show. People follow Beyonce because her message has stayed consistent. Her artistry has stayed consistent. Beyonce, since she got on a stage, said, I'm an independent woman and I'm going to do my own thing. When she was in Destiny Child, she said, a bugaboo can't bug me. She said, pay my bills, pay my bills. She said, I'm a survivor, I ain't going to give up. And then when she became a single artist, as she got onto her solo career, that messaging stayed the same. Her art stayed the same. The story behind her art stayed the same. She said, I am a single woman. I can do it on my own. Put a ring on it if you want to say so. If I were a boy, I would do things better because I am a strong, independent woman. The story behind the artist stayed the same, and that's what people buy into. So as a creative, as an artist, as someone who is trying to just reinvent them lives, reinvent your life, friend. We are reinventing our lives. We are changing our reality. What you need to always keep in the back of the mind, or not even in the back of your mind, like in the front of your mind, is that you need to be true to who you are. People want to know you. The business stuff can come afterwards. Like, once you have the following, once you have the email marketing, once you have your overhead projections, once you have your ROIs, once you have your budget set, like, that can all come later. But you have to first know why you're doing this as an artist. And that's what's going to make people want to connect with you, right? And just the last thing about, becoming a full-time artist and or like changing your reality is, I noticed that in the video, he was saying how he has to force it. He has to get up every day and he has to force himself to do this. And if he gives himself a time period, that'll force him to get there. And force. And in a way, yes, you do want to force yourself to get up and do things, right? I'm not saying it's completely bad. However, you also want to be very wary of your terminology in the things that you say. I'm a strong believer that the words that you say out loud will eventually become your reality, right? Because once again, the more you do something, the more your brain will confirm it. It will affirm. So if you forcing it, your brain will like, oh, we're forcing things? Well, I don't like to force things. That's tiring for me. So if you got to get up every day and force yourself to do something, you're eventually going to get burnt out. So the one thing that I would suggest to not only myself, because I also do this, but to you, friend, and to everyone else who may need the knowledge, is to not force things, especially if you want to do it, if you want to reinvent yourself, if you want to, hit that goal. Don't force yourself to do it. Find ways to make it fun and find ways to make it easy. Because if it's fun and if it's easy, you'll want to get up and do it. Life is gonna life, no matter what you do. There's always gonna be some bull crap that's gonna stop you from getting up and trying to do things. Life will always try to life. So if you get up and you try to force your way through life, life is just gonna push back. And sometimes life pushes back hard. It pushes back in ways that we can even we didn't even understand. We didn't even imagine. Like, how did this happen? Life. Okay, and I know that we've all been there. Look, at least I know I've been there, and I'm still in there. Look, I live in my car. I'm homeless, girl. So I was like, I know that life, and that's how I am so confident in saying, like, trying to force myself to get up and do the things that I naturally enjoy only puts more stress on it. So if I really want to change things, if I want to get into a new headspace, if I want to do a whole 180 on my life, like, I have to make it fun. I have to make it enjoyable. Like, life is always going to be hard, so I have to find the good where I can find it and ride that wave as long as I can ride it. So if you are, or if you know anyone who's like, dang, I'm going to force myself to do this, I'm going to do, like, I really suggest to them, like, hey, friend, like, find a way for this to be easy. Find a way to get help. Find a way to make it as fun as possible. But yeah, I really suggest for y'all to go check out Dynamic Pencil's channel. I think it is a very inspiring video, especially if you are on a journey of self-improvement, a journey of a new reality, a journey of following your passion, and for your passion really to become your life, right? We are in an age now where anything is possible, especially with the technology and the resources that we have today. And of course, I always say that, and I do truly mean it. So whether Dynamics Pencil's watching, whether you're watching, friend, share it to your friend, share it to your mama, share it to your dog, but always say it, and say it with me. You got this. I got this. We got this. And I will see you all later, guys. Bye.